I guess about 10:30, about a half an hour from now. But right now, I have the lovely Tia here to talk about Head Start. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Just fine.
Great.
So what is going on with Head Start and early Head Start? Well, first of all, let's talk about who it affects and who's privy to these programs.
Okay. Head Start in Early Head Start is a program for underprivileged families and children to make sure that they are truly ready for their next educational setting, whether that be in kindergarten or private school. And so we work with families to make sure that their children are truly going to get a Head Start. So we service kids in Head Start ages 3 to 5. In our Early Head Start program, we work with pregnant mothers and then children.
That's real early.
Yes, very early prenatal. And then in our center-based setting, we have children that are 6 weeks to 30 months. So we make sure that children get the earliest Head Start that they can.
Now, let me just ask for a tip, and if this is off what you do, then just smack me. But what can we as parents at home do when you have little ones that small? Some people think like, oh, she's only 2, she's only 3. You know, what can I really teach her? She'll learn it in school when she goes to kindergarten. But that's not really the case.
That really isn't true. We really work with parents to let them know that you are your child's first teacher. And everything that you do in front of them, modeling how you speak, how you talk, reading is really, really important. We know that language and literacy builds the foundation for every type of learning that children are going to go through and then raise up to be great adults. And so really we work with parents to let them know it's not just their letters and their numbers, but it's how you speak to them. It's how you encourage them to learn, giving them new experiences. So that's what Head Start does. Just doesn't focus on the child, but also focuses on the parent and them as their child's first teacher, and then make sure that the family has all that they need.
Okay. So what kind of programs do you offer, and how can people get involved with them?
Okay. Our Head Start program, we have over 19 centers and serve over 1,700 children in the southeast area, including Pasadena. And so parents can actually call, and we have a number, 713-393-4777, which is dedicated to learning about Head Start, the requirements, and we're going to be running that line throughout the summer. We start school again in August. But want to just make sure that folks know about Head Start, know what we can provide, which is not just support to the child, but also to the family. We believe in a whole child, whole family situation, and we know that children are the healthiest when their family is the healthiest. And then our Early Head Start program, we are located in the historic 5th Ward area and partner with Hester House. And so we serve about 84 families in that area. And again, it's pregnant mothers and children 0 to about 30 months.
Now, what kind of things do you do for 0 to 30 months?
Well, I'm
fascinated by that.
Right. And that program really is working with the parent about what you can do in the home and teaching them how to be their child's first teacher, finding things in the home that they can use to help educate their children and get them ready, how to learn things, self-sufficiency, not just tying their shoes, but making them responsible, about controlling their own temperaments and those types of things. And so really at that early age, it's really getting children used to routines and then also strengthening the parents' activities and letting them know these are the types of things that you can do in your home to help children prepare themselves to go on to the next educational setting. One other thing, I know people are like, oh, well, they'll get it when they go to kindergarten, but working with children that young, in a setting where they're amongst their peers, they understand and start to learn that they're a bigger part of a community and a bigger part of a picture. And so that social interaction is really, really important. And so just the self-development at that young age, children building their self-esteem, seeing, noticing in them and really, really working with them to develop their own self-esteem and their own personalities is really what we do at that young age.
I think a lot of times when kids are that young, we don't think about, we're so busy being caught up in the cute, I like to call it. Like, we're all caught up in the cute. Oh, they look so cute in this. It looks good. We're not really thinking about teaching them things.
Right.
And a lot of things, as you mentioned, with personality development and social skills and things like that, they do come from your parents. You learn how conflict resolution from your parents, how to share, how to, be fair in your dealings with other people, things like that. So that when you get to kindergarten, you're not the one that's biting, kicking, fighting, pulling stuff, pushing people out of the way because you learned at home that, no, we need to be polite. We need to wait our turn. Those kind of things that you can't teach at home. My mom was a school teacher forever and ever. And she always said everything everything is a learning opportunity. And she had me reading stuff, cereal boxes, all the stuff. We go shopping, go pick out this, go pick out that, go bring me this. And that's how it was fun for me. Right. I didn't realize I was learning anything. I just thought, hey, I'm helping mom shop. And kids like to help.
Exactly. I was actually a kindergarten teacher in the local Houston school district. And so I saw children coming from Head Start. And so that's one of the reasons I decided to come to this program, was because, I had to get in there and say, okay, I'm a kindergarten teacher and I see children that are coming and they're well beyond what I had, quote unquote, planned to teach. And so my mother was an educator. I come from a family of educators as well. And so because Head Start was a little bit different, it was a social service program that's federally funded. I needed to know more about it. And again, it goes back to your early learning and what your parents put in front of you. And so I have to agree, helping mom out sets the foundation for children's success. And I think that's really, really important. People don't always know that.
Before we get to the next segment, let me give out the number again. So if you have questions about this program, you have little ones at home, or maybe you're sitting there sweltering and pregnant going, but you're trying to prepare for your child, this is a good way to get you in touch with these programs now before the baby's here, and you can get yourself really situated before you even have to do any of these things, but you'll know what's coming up. Our number here, 713-390-5102, 713-390-5102. Tia's here. She is happy to answer your questions. She brought a stack of information. So whatever you ask her about, and if she doesn't have it, she'll find it. See, I'm just going to put her on blast. She's going to find it for you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to find it.
And we will put it up on our website so that you can access it. All right. Now, you mentioned the location at the 5th Ward, Hester House on Solo Street. Now, the free program, free, important word to get out there so that you can take advantage of this, do you have to have a certain income requirement or something to participate? And what kind of things do you need to bring to do that?
Yes, as a federally funded program, of course, we have to make sure that the income guidelines are met. And so there is a listing that talks about the number of people in your family, your household, and the amount of money, the threshold that you can make. But also, we service the southeast area in Pasadena. And so depending on your zip code and where you live, if you're not in our area, we will forward your information and have you connected to some of the other Head Start providers in the area. We're not the only one. And so also making sure that your child is age eligible. That's really important. Your child has to be at least 3 by September 1st to participate in the Head Start program. And then early Head Start really depends on whether you're pregnant, how old your child is and that kind of thing. So really making sure you bring information about your income, also proof of residency, and then also just discussing the age of your child are the 3 major things that you're going to need when you call that line. Okay.
And those should be easy enough to provide.
Yes.
Let's talk about this, because this is a kind of a hot button topic now. Nutrition, health, and wellness. Everybody concerned about what's in this food nowadays, and how do you prepare your kids to eat a proper diet when, Mom, I don't like vegetables. I don't want that. Right. We all want sweet, salty, high-calorie things. How do you set the tone for your kids to live a healthy lifestyle so they don't get in trouble with some of the things like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, the big 333, as I call them?
Right. That's one of the pillars of Head Start, not just educationally, but to make sure that the whole child is developing. And so there is a strong health and nutrition component. So we work really hard to make sure that the meals that we plan are low sugar, low salt, and then we also participate in our child, adult, and food care program through USDA. And so we have certain guidelines that we have to meet. And so that we make sure that children are having balanced and healthy meals regularly. All of the meals are served, all of the breakfast, lunch, and also snacks are provided for free for the children that are participating in the program. But also, we also have a component on nutrition and health. And so getting children active and moving in the classroom, and also a component for, dental. Children brush their teeth in our program a couple of times a day. So really focusing on that health and nutrition aspects. It's not just making sure children are smart, making sure that they're also healthy. And so we teach that.
All right. We have a couple of calls. Let's go first to line 2. Pat, good morning.
Good morning. I had a question for the area. Is Katy in Brookshire, Waller County areas included with the Head Start program?
Yes, there are providers that are out in those areas. One thing that you can do is go to, Google, actually, Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families, and you can put in your zip code and find out which Head Start provider is out in those areas. Head Start is a massive program throughout the United States, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and so you can definitely find programs in your area. But probably go and look at the Administration for Children and Families. Their website can give you more information about those providers in your area.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, great. Pat, thanks for your call this morning, and good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, line 3, Michael, good morning.
Good morning. How are you all?
Just fine, Tia. Can hear you. What's your question?
I just want to say Head Start is a great program. My oldest child was a product of Head Start.
Yay.
And one thing I want to say, I want to ask rather, is the way the Head Start program is designed now, do you have any information regarding employment there, or is there a resource number for human resources where one can call?
Yes, actually, as you know, because you participated in the program, one of the pillars for Head Start also is family engagement and getting them involved and finding out what the family needs are. So at our organization, Gulf Coast Community Service Association, please feel free to call the direct number, which is 713-393-4700, and let them know that you're interested in employment opportunities with our organization. But also, if you're looking specifically to work in Head Start, make sure you mention that when you call. But there are other resources. Looking at the Administration of Children and Families website, you'll be able to find other Head Start opportunities for employment. But definitely our agency can let you know what kind of employment opportunities are out in the community and with our agency.
Okay, well, I appreciate it.
Michael, thank you so much for your call. And let me ask you a question. So you want to go and work for Head Start? They did such a good job with your child. You want to actually go work for the agency?
Well, I was calling for someone else. Education was my initial plan when it came to life, but I didn't get my teacher's certificate when I finished college. But I did go back and started working on it. But I've gone on to bigger and better things since HISD didn't see me as a product. For some reason, I applied to HISD back when Billy Reagan was president and superintendent, and they put the alternative certification program on hold. And when John Raymond took over, the program came back in quietly. No one, made a public announcement about it, and I found out after the fact. But when I went for my initial interview, if the young lady would have looked at my application, she would have seen that the job that I had versus the job that I wanted, which is in education, would have caused me to take a pay cut. But the young men the kids that were growing up at that time needed to know that you can be proud to be a teacher.
Yes.
And I wanted to teach on the elementary level so that the young boys of my color could see, that we could make a living as educators. And, a lot of times we laugh at teachers, we have fun with teachers and stuff like that, but teachers are underserved, they are underpaid, and so much is expected of a teacher today that it's utterly ridiculous. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of black men don't go in that profession. Because it does not pay a lot. If you hang around long enough, maybe you become an educator or an administrator, you can make more money. But our kids needed to know that, you can be proud to be a teacher. I wanted to walk to school with my kids every day because I lived in the neighborhood, and, children needed to see that and be proud of that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're a good role model anyway. Thank you so much for your call this morning.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. There was something else on this list I was going to get to you. Oh, STEM, which is the big word that's thrown around, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math careers.
Yes.
So you can kind of help with, tell me, elaborate on that.
Okay. Actually, in the last few years, of course, we all know that technology is really key. And then preparing children educationally, we've got to put things in front of them that they don't always see. And so a couple of years ago, we had the opportunity to put smart boards in our classroom, which are large-scale computers for children to work on. We've integrated iPads for the children to work on, so do a lot of assessment. So we put a lot of things in front of them that they would not have otherwise had the experience. And so that we've seen that has really set the foundation for those science and math skills, and really excited about that. We're doing a lot of measuring around that. And so I think that's something that not just Head Start, but at our organization at Gulf Coast, we're really, really committed to making sure our children are fully, completely ready for kindergarten and then the educational career. So, yeah.
And I especially want to push it as far as girls. Don't get scared off from the math. Don't get scared off from the science.
Yes.
That's a great career. They need you.
Yes.
And if you have those skills, because not everybody does.
Right. And then identifying what we do also is identify their individual strengths, and then work with the parents to really develop those things. Of course, yes, we all have challenges and things that we need to work on, but, really working with children, identifying what those strengths are and feeding that, a lot of that fear will be gone. And so definitely letting parents know that you are your child's first teacher. Here's what your child does very well. Here's the things we need to work on, and partnering with us to get those things done.
And this is where I would encourage anyone that's out there that's listening, if you do some of these careers that maybe people don't hear about all the time, but you have a job like this, partner with the Head Start. Maybe go in and let the kids experience you and talk to them about what you do and how you were able to get where you are, because people do have these skills, but there are a lot of jobs that I never heard of before until I met somebody that did it, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that was even a job.
Exactly. And we do invite volunteers to come in, talk with our children, talk with our parents, and really give information about what you do in the community. And so that's always definitely an opportunity to come and partner with us.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break right here. Give that number out again before we take our break.
The number is 713-393-4777.
All right, and we're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Sunday Morning Live on Magic 102.1.
Houston area McDonald's restaurants. Hurry, get your coupons today and save.
It transcends trend. The crown jewel of the bun, yet so comfortable in beans.
Oscar Mayer.
The classic beef frank, sublime for any occasion.
Black tie or BYO sweatpants.
Dress up Oscar Mayer in aioli and capers, or dress it down in a blanket, Little Pig style.
Oui, all the way home.
Groceries, essentials, signature value.
The Everyday Collection by Target.
The Dodge event continues at Majic Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Come see me, Lee Hensley, new Dodge Chargers, SXT, or new Chrysler 300. Your choice, only $279 a month. $279 a month. MacHikeDCJ.com.
Coming June 21st through the 23rd is the 10th annual Texas Black Expo Juneteenth Summer Celebration at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Over 15,000 attendees expected. Get your booth now or become a sponsor. For more information, visit myhoustonmagic.com.
It's time to call now, 713-390-5102. That's 713-390-5102. Sunday Morning Live on Magic 102.1.
It's been on and popping. You're listening to Sunday Morning Live on Magic 102.1. I am your hostess today, Maria Todd. I work over at Magic Sister Station, News 92 FM, so check me out over there some weekend. But right now we are talking with Tia from Head Start.
Yes.
And thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Now, we've been talking about the Head Start and the Early Head Start program, and they're going on all summer, so we've got all the way till August when school starts.
Yes.
Again, could you give out the information so people can connect with you?
Yes. Actually, again, we are the Head Start program that's with Gulf Coast Community Service Association. You can find us on Facebook, and the number that you can actually call to make sure that you're getting all the information and start to get your children enrolled is 713-393-4777. So we're waiting on you and your children. Really excited about our summer enrollment process. And so make sure that you're letting them know that you're trying to enroll your child for August.
Okay. And you mentioned a couple of your locations. If you could just mention those again.
Yes, we have over 19 centers in the southeast area. We partner with Texas Southern University in their lab school. We partner with the Housing Authority over at Clayton Homes. So there's a lot of different locations that are in the area. So once you give them where you actually live, they'll be able to tell you what site is closest to you, and you'll be able to be contacted by that site to let you know about the enrollment priorities.
Okay. And we will put this information up on our website as well so that you can access it, at least the numbers in the website and stuff, so that you can at least get that far. We can get you there. Now, you got to do the rest, and that is you have to take the initiative to get online or to make the call and then get your child all situated. There's some great programs that you've described. I wish I could put myself in a little kid suit and come over and play with the big board and the smart board and all that stuff. Is there anything that you want people to remember before we wrap up?
Just for the families out there, whether you're a parent, grandparent, a godparent, anybody that's connected with young children, just remember that you are your child's or the child in your life's first teacher, and you are the example. And it starts early, very, very early. And so as long as we come together to support these children, we can make sure that they're going to be successful in life. And so just always remember that.
All right. And if you need help with some of these things, remember there's always, if not relatives, you know, if you have a good friend or you have neighbors or somebody that can help you with some of these things, don't not turn to them. Don't try to think you're an island, because it really does take a village to raise a child.
It does. And then we also recognize the organization that I work for. We not just support the children and their families, but we also work with a lot of different partners in making sure that if you need adult education or you need GED or you have a need for food in your home, the organization not just partners with Head Start and we serve children and families, but also the larger community, and finding out whatever you need, we can do. We're a one-stop shop.
I tell you, because you kind of need to go back to school to help your kids with your homework nowadays. Boy, all the new math and the new way they teach language is something else. Thank you so much, Tia. It was a pleasure to meet you.
I appreciate it.
Okay, hopefully you get that thing all filled up with kids. Y'all can't take anymore. Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, Sunday Morning Live up next.